The following matchup is being played with History Maker Baseball Full Play, a big league baseball simulation board game, your own baseball legacy on your game table. This game is a property of Play Games LLC, copyright 2013, all rights reserved. Welcome to today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. In today's episode, man oh man, are we going to have a treat for you on hand as we are going to play out the 18 inning marathon that was a very special Canada Day turned into a Canada Day massacre as we're going to feature the Cleveland Indians taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Your probable starters for this game were Josh Tomlin for Cleveland and Marcus Stroman for the Blue Jays. First pitch is around the corner, but before we get to first pitch, let's take a look at our and say thank you to our official Play Game sponsors for sponsoring today's episode of MLB Memorable Games as part of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour as we are going full play. We would like to take time to say thank you to our official Play Game sponsors for sponsoring today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. This episode, first of all, is being brought to you by your favorite Bitty Beer products. And again, if you choose to drink Bitty Beer, please remember to drink responsibly. Hey, it's a blend of hops, rice, and barley that gives Bitty Beer its taste. But we know better. It's our brewing process that gives our beer that one-of-a-kind flavor that no premium beer can match. Our vats have never been cleaned. There's an itty-bitty bit of history in every can. Bitty Beer, the beer for folks who can't afford better. And by Doc Cola, the official cola drink of the Play Games community. Doc Cola uses finest ingredients to bring you that sugary blast of caffeine you've come to know and love. Twice the sugar and three times the caffeine of any other major. Doc Cola is sure to keep fired up from dawn till dusk. Take the Doc Cola challenge. See why our customers agree you'll never be able to wean yourself from a refreshing Doc Cola. And by Pizza Kingdom, the official pizza joint of the Play Games community. Pizza Kingdom, our signature New York style pizza, starts with crust. Then we layer on our homemade pizza sauce and load your pizza up with mounds of cheese. When it comes out of the oven, piping hot, golden brown, and ready for you to enjoy. Then we give the majestic culinary work of art to Mikey, our 16-year-old delivery driver who has responsible as a tree. Pizza Kingdom, it's sheer perfection. Left the store. And by Suncoast Capital Banks. At Suncoast Capital, we live by one simple rule of investing. When our clients win, we win. When our clients lose, we win. Suncoast Capital, you know we're going to get all of your money anyway. And by Rubicon Wireless. Why pay $200 a month for wireless service when you get 4 lines for just $25 a month? With our tin can plan, you can access our wireless network that covers at 25% of coast to coast between the hours of 11 p.m. and 4:30 a.m. Unlimited text and messaging those hours, of course. So why overpay for services you cannot live out? Rubicon Wireless. And we're coming at you live from the beautiful Sky Dome, aka the Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, for this edition of MLB Memorable Games as we are concluding and wrapping up our very special week featuring Canada versus USA. as both countries are celebrating their their independence and anniversaries of becoming independent of excuse me, an independent nation, with the U.S. Coming up tomorrow for the 4th of July, while Canada Day was just recently took place here, uh, has took place more recently, as we have out on the table for you the game from July 1st, 2016, featuring the Cleveland Indians and the Toronto Blue Jays. Your starting pitching matchup for this game was Marcus Stroman for the Jays, as he had Semi Workman, Flash, and Control, and he'll be opposed by Josh Tomlin. He has Semi Workman, Semi Flash, and Double Control. This game is being played with History Maker Baseball full play. With that being said, Stroman is set to get things going. Carlos Santana is ready to lead things off. And let's get right down to it as we present this latest edition of MLB Memorable Games. We'll kick things off with a 1-2-4. Control. Stroman has control, so therefore that's going to be a ground out to short. And Carlos Santana is one. There's one down in the inning, and that is going to bring up Jason Kipnis off of the main chart. 1-1-4. Fresh, and again I play it as 3 full fresh, 3 semi-fresh. Marcus Stroman is still considered fresh, so therefore 1-1-4. Here we are. It'll be a ground out to short, as man, the shortstop Troy Tulowitzki is getting a workout over there. So that is 2 down in the first, and that'll bring up Frankie Lindor off of the main chart. 1-1-5. Fresh, yes, Stroman is still fresh. Therefore, it's going to be a pop fly choice of infield. This time, the second baseman is going to take care of things, as the second baseman Darwin Barney will take charge of this one as he makes the catch. And that is a 1-2-3 inning from Marcus Stroman as we go to the bottom of the first with Ezekiel Carrera to lead things off. It's Indians nothing, and the Blue Jays are coming to bat in their half of the first inning. .366. Pinch hitter. No, Ezekiel Carrera is the leadoff batter. So therefore, that's going to be a fly out to center. And that will be the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up Josh Donaldson, bringer of rain, off the main chart with a 266. There's nobody on first. Is Josh Donaldson the leadoff batter? He's not. Therefore, it'll be another fly out to right. And there are 2 down in the inning. And that is going to bring up Edwin Encarnacion. Will he stay in the game? In our replay, will he stay in the game? Unlike he didn't in real life. Oh boy, let's see and find out. 566. Wild. Tomlin's not wild. Good eye. No, Edwin Encarnacion does not have a good eye, so therefore that's going to be a strikeout. He just goes back to the dugout and say good pitch. So therefore, is going to be a strikeout on Edwin Encarnacion. Both teams go down in order in the first inning, as it is Indians nothing and the Blue Jays nothing after 1 inning of play. 156. 156. Whiffer on Napoli. He is a whiffer. Therefore, strike 3 called, says the home plate umpire. That is going to bring up Jose Ramirez off of the main chart. Correct. Oh, I'm sorry. I take that back. Hang on. I take that back. Sorry. The inning started with the baseball right now chart. So sorry, back to Napoli. Sorry about that. I forgot. Baseball right now chart 16. Hot pitcher. Again, no. Batter lines is no one has taken full advantage of who's hot and who's cold, or who's harmonious or dissonant or not. So therefore, batter will line a clean single past the second baseman, unless Napoli has a delta rating, which in this case he does not. So it will be corrected a single for Mike Napoli, and there's a runner on for now Jose Ramirez off the main chart. Glad I caught myself there. 1-2-4. Control. Yes, Marcus Stroman does have control. That is going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Good job by the Blue Jays infielders after Stroman got Napoli as Napoli got Stroman for a base hit. With that being said, base is cleared with 2 gone in the inning, and that'll bring up Lonnie Chisenhall. 2-3-5. Wild on Stroman. No. Eager on Chisenhall. He's a semi-eager batter. The decider die says he's not. So therefore, 2-3-5. That is going to be a ground out to second unless he is patient. Lonnie Chisenhall is not patient, so therefore that'll be a ground out to second. And Marcus Stroman goes 6 up, 6 down as we go to the bottom half of the second. Or excuse me, technically kind of 6 up, 6 down, but he did allow Napoli to reach with a single, so technically you kind of would say 6 up, 6 down, but in this case, it's not. With that being said, we go to the bottom half of the second with no score between the Indians and the Blue Jays. Michael Saunders will lead things off for the Blue Jays as he has a 2-3-4. Runners on base? No. Hot batter? No. We're not taking full advantage of who's hot and who's cold or not. So therefore, that is going to be a pop out to third, and that is going to be the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up Russell Martin off of the main chart. 1-5-5. Home run king. Russell Martin is a semi-home run king. However, the decider die says he's not. Excuse me. Therefore, 1-5-5. It'll be a fly out to center. 2 down in the inning for Troy Tulowitzki. 3-3-6. 3-3-6. Acer dynamic on Tomlin. He's not. Sad sack, utility, or patient on Tulo. He's a semi-utility. However, the decider die says he's not. Therefore, it'll be a single to center as both teams do get their first hits here in the second inning. And that is going to bring up the player experience chart for Justin Smoke with a runner on at first base. 56. Icon pitcher. Josh Tomlin is a semi-icon, and the decider die says he's not. We have some we have some infield drama, folks. 14. First baseman Iron. The first baseman in this game was Mike Napoli for Cleveland. He is not 14. He's not Iron, so therefore makes the easy play for the ground out. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that will do it for the first 2 innings here at Rogers Center, aka the Sky Dome in Toronto, with your score at a big fat geese egg. Get it? The big fat geese egg between the Indians and the Blue Jays. 1-6-6 back on the main chart. Workmen are gilded on Stroman. He's a semi-workman. Oh, but the decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, that is going to be a single to left. And Yan Gomes is up on base for Tyler Naquin. And he will take his hacks off the player experience charts with a 34. Prospect batter. Naquin is a prospect batter, so therefore, fooled by the pitch. Unfortunately, he's going to go grab some pine, and that is going to be a strict 3 call, the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up Rajay Davis off of the baseball right now chart. And again, no one has taken full advantage of who's hot and who's cold, or who's harmonious, or who's dissonant or not. 11. Cold pitcher, again, no. Therefore, that's going to be a fly out to shallow right field. Nowhere for nowhere near for Yan Gomes to advance 90 feet. So it will be the second out of the inning. Just want to make sure. And Gomes got out with a single. Naquin struck out. Yes, it's 2 outs. I played that correctly. So therefore, it's Carlos Santana's turn up at the dish off of the main chart. 3-4-5. Iron catcher. The catcher for Toronto in this game was Russell Martin. He's a semi-iron catcher, and the decider die says he's not. Good eye on Santana. No, that is going to be a strike three called. The Indians do get a man on, but they do leave him on base, and therefore we head to the bottom of the third with no score. 356 on Pilar. Oh, excuse me, on the blue chart, excuse me, off the baseball right now chart. I'm glad I caught myself there with a 35. Hot batter. Again, no one has taken full advantage of who's hot and who's cold. So therefore, it will be a fly out to left. First out of the inning has been recorded on Kevin Pillar, and that'll bring up Darwin Barney with one down in the inning off the main chart with a 256. 256. Struggler on Tomlin. No. Champer patient on Barney. He's neither. So therefore, that is going to be some infield drama ensuing. Folks, it's a 33. Oh boy. Pitcher iron. Josh Tomlin is a neutral fielder. So therefore, pitcher makes the easy throw for the easy ground out. And that is going to end up being a 1-3 putout. And there are two down in the inning. And that is going to bring up Ezekiel Carrera off the main chart. 266. 266. Runner on first. There's no one on first. Leadoff batter. Technically not. Technically in this inning, no. So therefore, it'll be a fly out to right. Another quick 1-2. Another 1-2-3 inning by Josh Tomlin. We have no score as we are through the first 3 innings of this episode of MLB Memorable Games. On our way to the fourth with Jason Kipnis up at the dish with a 3-4-6. Eager on Kipnis. No, that's going to be a base on balls. Active steals. Jason Kipnis is not active, so therefore that is going to be a walk for Kip. And that is going to bring up Frankie Lindor off of the team chemistry chart. Oh my, a 66. Batting team harmony. Again, no one has taken full advantage of who's harmonious or who's dissonant or not. So therefore, strike 3 called, says the home plate umpire, as that will be the first out of the inning. And that is going to be going back to the main chart for Mike Napoli with one down in the inning with a man on first. 3-4-5. 3-4-5. Iron catcher, again, Russell Martin is the catcher for Toronto. He's a semi-iron, and the decider die says he's not. Good eye. No, Napoli does not have a good eye. So therefore, it will be strike 3 called on Napoli as Stroman gets back-to-back Ks. And that is going to bring up Jose Ramirez off the baseball right now chart with excuse me, 34. Cold batter. No. Excuse me. No. Anyone, excuse me, no one has taken full advantage of who's hot and who's cold. So therefore, sorry about that, everyone. And as something got stuck in my throat there. So Jose Ramirez has a 34, and again, a cold batter. He's not cold. No one has taken full advantage of who's hot and who's cold or not. So therefore, it'll be a fly out as the Indians get another run on, but cannot advance him past first. We're through 3.5 innings of scoreless baseball here for this episode of MLB Memorable Games as we are reliving the epic 19-inning, hopefully not for this game, from Canada Day from 2016 between the Indians and the Blue Jays, where Cleveland won 2-1 in real life. After 3.5 innings of play, we still remain scoreless between the Indians and the Blue Jays. 156 back on the main charts. Whiffer on Donaldson. He's not a whiffer, so therefore that will be some outfield drama ensuing. Yep, some outfield drama ensuing. We have a 46. Left fielder iron. The left fielder in this game was Rajay Davis. He is not iron, so therefore, 46. It'll be a running grab and a hooking line drive for a line out. So line out to left field for Josh Donaldson. And there's one down in the inning for Edwin Encarnacion off of the team chemistry chart. 46. Yes, team chemistry chart with a 25. Pitching team DeSonnet. No, anyone is not both throughout this inaugural season for the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. No team has taken full advantage of who's hot and who's cold, or who's dissonant or harmonious. So therefore, it is going to read 25. That is going to end up being a fly out to right, and that is going to be 2 down in the inning for Michael Saunders. He'll bat off the main chart with a 1-1-4. Fresh. We're in the semi-freshest innings now, and according to the decider die, I play it as dot he's fresh, blank he's not. In this case, Josh Tomlin is still fresh. So therefore, 1-1-4. He will get the ground out to short. And man, oh man, folks, it is a tight pitching duel here in Toronto with no score between the Indians and the Blue Jays for this episode of MLB Memorable Games. We lead things off for the top half of the fifth with a 3-3-6. Acer Dynamic on Stroman. No. Sad Sack Utility or Patient on Chisenhall. No. Yes, no. Therefore, it's going to be a single to center. And the Tribe try to get that runner home, because they have not, after the last few innings, they get a man to first, but they cannot find a way to score him. So therefore, that is going to bring up Yan Gomes up at the dish. And it will be off the player experience chart with a 13. Prospect pitcher. Marcus Stroman is a semi-prospect. The decider die says he is not. So therefore, it'll be a ground out to third. And folks, unbelievable. 5-4-3 double play eliminates the runner on first. And my goodness, that is another inning that the Cleveland Indians got a man to first and somehow, some way could not score him. So therefore, it's 2 down in the inning. We go to the main chart for Tyler Naquin. 2-4-4. Ace on Stroman. No. Champ on Naquin. He's not. Therefore, it's going to be a ground out to short unless he is a whiffer. He is a whiffer. Strike 3 called, says the home plate umpire, and Marcus Stroman walks back to the dugout and tells the crowd, let's go, get these bats going, let's go, as we head to the bottom half of the fifth with no score between the Indians and the Blue Jays for this episode of MLB Memorable Game. Russell Martin will lead things off with a 2-2-4. Pitching at home, Josh Tomlin is again, Cleveland is the visiting team for this ball game, so no. Slugger on Martin. He's not a slugger, so therefore, that is going to be a single to right active steals. Martin is on at first base. This is the Blue Jays' chance, though, to hopefully get something going here with a man on, nobody out. And we go to the baseball right now chart for Troy Tulowitzki. 45. Cold batter. It seems no one has taken full advantage of who's hot and who's cold. So therefore, ground out to first base. Oh man, that is going to be tough, folks. It's going to be a 3-6-3 double play. Oh man, oh man. It has really been a tight pitching duel here so far as we are going back to the main chart for Justin Smoke. 4-5-6. Patient. Let's see here. Justin Smoke is the batter. He is not patient, so therefore that's going to be a fly out to center. We'll begin the top half of the sixth off the team chemistry chart. But before we do so, we take a look at our mid-game summary through 5 innings of play with no score between the Indians and the Blue Jays. And we welcome you back to this episode of MLB Memorable Games as we are reliving the Canada Day game from 2016 that the Indians and Blue Jays had, as that game went a full marathon, like 19 innings. And with that being said, Marcus Stroman and Josh Tomlin remain on the hill here at the Rogers Center in Toronto as we will get things going and kicking off the team chemistry chart for Rajai Davis at bat to lead things off here in the top half of the 6th inning. After 5 innings of play, it's scoreless between the Indians and the Blue Jays as we resume play. 15. Pitching team harmony? Unfortunately, no, because no team has taken full advantage of who's harmonious or who's dishonored or not. So therefore, it will be a bloop single for Rajai Davis, and that'll bring up Carlos Santana off of the main charts with a 4-4-5. 4-4-5. Workman on Stroman. He is a semi-workman. The decider die says yes, he is. That is going to be a double to right. So therefore, that is going to be wow. The Indians are going to get on the board thanks to an RBI double by Carlos Santana, and the Indians are going to lead this one 1-0 with a runner on second with nobody out. We do see the bullpens at work here for both teams, just in case if either starting pitcher falters in their half innings of work. With that being said, we head to the men on base, or excuse me, the back on the main chart for Jason Kipnis' at bat of a 3-6-6 pinch hitter. No, Kipnis is not a pinch hitter, so therefore will be a fly out to center. And that is going to allow semi-stoic. Stoic runner on first advances only to second on any single third base on doubles except with 2 outs. Okay, so yeah, Santana will hold with 1 down in the inning. That is going to bring up Frankie Lindor off of the main chart. Off the main chart. 1-4-5. Struggler on Stroman. No, that's going to be a ground out to first or third base. Frankie Lindor is a switch hitter. He'll take the sure out, ground out to first, and advance in the runner, as it will be 2 outs now with Santana on at third for Mike Napoli. 3-4-5. 3-4-5. Iron catcher Martin. Russell Martin is the Blue Jays catcher for this game. He is a semi-iron catcher, and the decider die says he's not. Good eye. Mike Napoli does not have a good eye, so therefore strike 3 called. The Indians get one across. Get one run across as they lead it after 5.5 innings of play, 1-0. Kevin Pillar will lead things off with a 1-1-6. Fresh. Josh Tomlin is semi-fresh. We're in the semi-freshest innings, and unfortunately, he's not fresh, according to the decider die. Utility or stat sack on Pillar? He's not. Wait, one. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. This at bat's supposed to be starting on the baseball right now chart. Glad I caught myself there. So instead, it's a 45. Cold batter, unfortunately, no. So no one is taking full advantage of who's hot and who's cold or not. So therefore, round out to first. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Glad thing I caught myself there. So now it'll be Darwin Barney to bat now off the main charts with a 3-5-6. Same, again, when we say same, it's righty versus righty, lefty versus lefty. Since we have a righty versus righty matchup, it will be a strike 3 called, says the home plate umpire, and Barney is out via the strikeout. And we go to Ezekiel Carrera's at bat off the main charts with a 5-5-6. 5-5-6. Ace. So far, Tomlin is pitching like an ace so far, but unfortunately, he does not have it printed on his card. Stat sack on Carrera. He's not a stat sack, so therefore, that's going to be a double to right active steals. Carrera is not an active runner, but he does have a Sigma rating. It will be a single for Zeke, and that'll bring up Josh Donaldson. Off the main chart with a 1-4-5. Struggler. Tomlin is not a struggler, so therefore that's going to be a ground out to either first or third base. He'll take the sure out at first base, as that will be it for the first 6 innings of this ball game. Your score after 6 innings is Cleveland Indians 1 and the Toronto Blue Jays 0. Timeout. And it seems Marcus Stroman is going to be having his hand shooken there as by his manager, as he was told by a job well done. But we're going to let the bullpens take care of things from here on out. With that being said, we have Jason Grilli up on the hill for the Jays, as he has semi-star and double flash. For this at-bat against Jose Ramirez, Jason Grilli will have the full extent use of the star quality. With that being said, we resume play here in the top half of the 7th with the Cleveland Indians in front of the Toronto Blue Jays 1-0. 2-5-5. Yes, 2-2-5. Sorry. Star on Grilli. Remember, we gave him the full star for Jose Ramirez's at bat. So therefore, he is a star. That's going to be a ground out to choice of infielder. We'll say the iconic 4-3 put out in the scorebook for the first out of the inning. Lonnie Chisenhall will be the next batter with a 1-4-4. Flash. Jason Grilli has double flash. So therefore, Lonnie Chisenhall, not only Chisenhall will strike out, but Yan Gomes will strike out as well. So therefore, that is a 1-2-3 inning. It's time to stretch here at the Sky Dome, aka the Rogers Center in Toronto, with your score, Cleveland Indians 1 and the Toronto Blue Jays 0. Timeout. And a nice job, fine job, well done by the fine folks here at the Sky Dome, aka the Rogers Center in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, with a good chorus of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." We do have a new pitcher for the Cleveland Indians out on the mound, as Dan Otero will be out on the hill as he has ace, star, flash, and double control for this at bat against Edwin Encarnacion. Otero will have the full extent use of the double flash quality. With that being said, the Cleveland Indians take charge of the Toronto Blue Jays here in this episode of MLB Memorable Games as the Indians lead it over the Jays 1-0. 4-5-6. It seems 4-5-6. Flash, and again, Otero, we gave him the double flash quality, so therefore, and when Encarnacion will strike out, and so will Michael Saunders, so that therefore, it's 2 down in the inning for Russell Martin off of the main chart. 3-4-5. 3-4-5. Iron catcher, the catcher for this game for Cleveland was Yan Gomes. He is not iron. Good eye. Unfortunately, Russell Martin does not have a good eye, so therefore it will be a strikeout. So Dan Otero comes in and strikes out the side. Here in the 7th inning, we go to the 8th inning with the Indians in front of the Blue Jays, 1-0. Jason Grilli will be back out on the hill, just in case if he falters here in this half inning. The Jays will have their pen going to work. With that being said, Tyler Naquin will lead things off for the Cleveland Indians here in the top half of the 8th, with the Indians in front, 1-0. '56 off the baseball right now charts. We have hot pitcher. Well, again, no. No one has taken full advantage of who's hot and who's cold, or who's harmonious or who's dishonored or not. So therefore, we have some infield drama ensuing with a 12. Shortstop iron. The shortstop for Toronto was Troy Tulowitzki. Oh, excuse me. He is not iron. So therefore, gold. Troy Tulowitzki is a gold fielder. So therefore, he will make the play for a ground out. 6-3 put out. It's Cleveland's turn at bat. There we go. As Rajay Davis will be up the dish against Jason Grilli off the main chart. 1-2-5. 1-2-5. Struggler. Grilli is not a struggler. Patient on Davis. He's not. Therefore, it will be a ground out to third unless he has a whiffer. Rajay Davis is a semi-whiffer. The decider dice was not used. Struggler, no. Patient, no. Yes, decider die was not used. So therefore, Rajay Davis does not have a whiffer. So therefore, he will ground out to third base. And that will do it for the first. And that will be 2 gone now in the inning, I should say, for Carlos Santana up at the dish. 2-4-5. 2-4-5. Hero. Carlos Santana is not a hero, so therefore it's going to be a pop out to second base. That is going to do it for the first 7.5 innings here at the Rogers Center with your score: Cleveland Indians 1 and the Toronto Blue Jays 0. Timeout. We're on our way to the bottom half of the 8th as Brian Shaw will be on the hill for Cleveland as he has semi-star and flash credited to his name for this at-bat against Russell Martin. Brian Shaw will have the full extent use of the star quality. With that being said, we will kick things off on the main chart for Russell Martin with a 1-6-6. Workmen are gilded on Shaw. No. Whiffer on Martin. Oh, he is a whiffer. So therefore, that is going to be a strikeout, the first out of the inning for Russell. And that is going to bring up Troy Tulowitzki off of the main chart with a 114. 114 fresh. And again, bullpen arms are one full fresh, one semi fresh. And since Brian Shaw is still fresh, he is going to be considered fresh. So therefore, it will be a ground out to short. Lindor has it. He makes the play. And there are two away now in the eighth inning. And that is going to bring up Justin Smoke. Hopefully, the Jays bats can get something going here. 2-3-5. Wild on Shaw. No. Eager on Smoke. No. That's going to be a ground out to second unless he is patient. He's not patient, so therefore it will be a ground out to second. And my oh my, folks, we're going to the ninth with your score: Cleveland Indians 1 and the Toronto Blue Jays nothing. We're on our way to the top half of the ninth as Jesse Chavez will be on the hill for the Toronto Blue Jays as he has Semi Workman, Flash, and Control. For this appearance against Jason Kipnis, Jesse Chavez will have the full extent use of the double Flash quality. With that being said, we're going back to the main chart. Begin the top half of the ninth with your score: Cleveland Indians 1 and the Toronto Blue Jays nothing. 1-2-3. Flash and fresh. Yes and yes. Not remember, Jesse Chavez, we gave him the double flash quality, so therefore he is still considered fresh. So he will not only strike out Jason Kipnis, but he'll also strike out Francisco Lindor. So that is going to bring up Mike Napoli off of the main chart with two down in the inning. 2-3-4. 2-3-4. Here we are. Runners on base. No. Hot batter. No one has taken full advantage of who's hot and who's cold. It'll be a pop out to third base. Last call for the Blue Jays to hopefully extend this game to the 2 extra innings. We go to the bottom of the ninth with the Indians in front of the Blue Jays, 1-0. As we do see a new pitcher trotting in from the bullpen. We'll see who that is after we take this really quick timeout. Last call for the Toronto Blue Jays as Jeff Manship will be on the hill for the Cleveland Indians as he has Star and Flash credited to his name. For this at bat against Kevin Pillar, Jeff Manship will have the full extent use of the semi-ace quality. That being said, Cleveland is taking charge of the Toronto Blue Jays 1-0. So they are looking for a shutout here for this episode of MLB Memorable Games. 3-4-5. 4-5. Here we are. Iron catcher. The catcher for Cleveland was Yan Gomes. He's not iron. Good eye. Pilar does not have a good eye, so therefore that is going to be a strikeout. We're going to go to the baseball right now chart for the second baseman, Devin Travis, who came into the top half of the ninth in the last half inning with one down in the inning. 16. Hot pitcher. So no one is taking full advantage of who's hot and who's cold. So therefore, batter line's a clean single past second base. And unless he has a delta rating, in this case he does, Devin Travis with speed will cruise into second with a double, with a 1-out double. That is going to bring up Ezekiel Carrera off of the main charts with a 3-4-6. Eager on Carrera. No. So therefore, it'll be a base on balls. Oh boy. The tying run's on at second. The winning run is on at first base. We go to the team chemistry chart. Oh boy. Oh man, folks, hang on to your hats. 34. Batting team harmony. Unfortunately, no one has taken full advantage of who's harmonious or who's dishonored or not. So therefore, they will get the out and it will be ground out to 34. It'll be a ground out to third base, and unfortunately, they are going to be getting the runner. They're going to be getting the lead runner, so therefore, it'll be a 5U putout as Carrera is safe at first, but they do get the lead runner at second, Travis. Oh, I'm sorry, the lead runner in Travis. Yeah, Pilar got out. Travis got on with a double. Oh, it's for Donaldson. I'm sorry, it's for Donaldson. So yeah, so Donaldson got out. Carrera got on base with a walk. So they're going to get Travis. So Donaldson is safe. He is considered to be the winning run. So now it's Edwin Encarnacion's turn up at the dish. To hopefully send the Jays fans home happy, and the Cleveland Indians fans home back across the U.S. border, really with sad faces. 336. Sorry about that. 136. Back on the main chart. 136. Ace on manship. No. Whiffer or cold? Edwin Encarnacion is a semi-whiffer, and he is not. Therefore, we have some infield drama ensuing, folks. It's a 26. Second baseman gold. The second baseman in this game was Jason Kipnis. He is a semi-gold fielder. The decider die says yes, he is. So therefore, 26. That is going to be a line out, and the runners are going to stay put with 2 down in the inning. That is going to bring up Michael Saunders off of the team chemistry charts. Last hope for the Jays rests on Michael Saunders to either extend or win the game. 46. Pitching team to Sonnet. No one has taken full advantage of who's harmonious or who's to Sonnet or not. So therefore, he goes to the infield drama chart once more. 66. First baseman gold. The first baseman is Mike Napoli. He is not gold. Bungled play, safe at first via the error. The bases are loaded, full of Toronto Blue Jays, and that is going to bring out Josh Tolley, the catcher for the Jays, as he will bat off of the main chart to hopefully send the Jays fans home happy with a 1-2-6. Fresh. Manship is fresh. Oh, that is going to be a line out to second. And man, oh man, folks, the ball game is over. The Jays rallied, but it wasn't good enough. Oh man, does that one really sting? Unbelievable. With that being said, the final score for this episode of MLB Memorable Games, the Cleveland Indians hang on to win a thriller 1-0 over the Toronto Blue Jays here for this episode of MLB Memorable Games. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode of MLB Memorable Games as we relived, hopefully, the 18-inning classic between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Cleveland Indians that took place on Canada Day in 2016. Well, it seems we ran out of time for today, but never fear. Let's see what's coming up next time here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. And it seems we're going to rewind the clock back to 2024 and feature our second and final week of Japan Stars in Baseball Week as Seiya Suzuki leads the 2024 Chicago Cubs into battle across state lines to take on Jackson Churio and the 2024 Milwaukee Brewers on the latest installment of Rivalry Night. Who will come on top of this matchup? Well, I guess you're going to have to tune in to find out for yourself next time here on the History Maker Baseball Express Hour. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the History Maker Baseball Express Hour, played with Full Play History Maker Baseball, a baseball league baseball simulation board game, your own baseball legacy on your game table. It is a property of Play Games LLC, copyright 2013, all rights reserved.